Upland just released the city of Tokyo as its 31st city to enter the Upland metaverse, and this was by far the best city release that happened. Here are my top 3 reasons. I'm YK2012, founder of the Upland Guide. On this channel, you can learn everything you need to know about the Upland metaverse, tutorials, strategy, tips, tricks, and a lot more. Please hit that subscribe button if you haven't already done so. Reason number 3, Tokyo is another 111 tier city release. There are 3 parameters that define the city releases: size, price, and iconic status, and Tokyo ranks at the top of each of those. In the real world, Tokyo is an expensive city to buy land in, it's a large city, and it's of course an iconic city. Now, in this initial release of Tokyo, there were only about 20,000 properties that were released, but this will only be the first of many releases of Tokyo, so expect there to be additional expansions in the future. There are now a total of 5 111 tier cities in Upland, and those are San Francisco, Manhattan, Chicago, Los Angeles, London, and now Tokyo. Reason number 2, this was a super smooth release. I wasn't aware of any major issues that players had, and we know that historically Upland has had many difficult city releases. It seems like they've completely fixed all of those technical bugs, and things are smooth sailing. And the number one main reason why Tokyo was a big success for all of Uplanders is that there really was something for everyone in this city release. Now, I'm not just saying this, I'm going to back it up with data right now. Whether you are a big whale with millions of UPX to spend on the city, looking for properties right in the downtown core, or you're a relatively new player just getting started, there was something for everyone. You can see here in this graph that I'm comparing the last 2 tier 111 cities, that being Tokyo and London. Each bubble is a different neighborhood, and you can see that the London neighborhoods are red and Tokyo blue. On the x-axis, we're looking at the base price, and that means what is the price of 1 UP squared in a specific neighborhood. On the y-axis, we have the total number of properties of each neighborhood, and that is also graphically represented by the size of the bubble. When London was released, everyone was quite shocked at the prices of the properties, and that's because up until the London release, we rarely saw neighborhoods that crossed the 1,000 UPX per UP squared mark. Here you can see that in London, the minimum base price is 559 UPX per UP squared, and the median base price is 1,368. And that means that 50% of the neighborhoods have a base price which is more than 1,368 UPX per UP squared. Now, it's important to note that the London city release was actually a double city release with Birmingham as well. And that was a tier 5 city, and that was geared more towards newer players. So you really had to make a choice of if you wanted to go to London or if you wanted to go to Birmingham. You couldn't really do both. Whereas here in Tokyo, you see that the expensive neighborhoods are even more expensive than what we saw in London, but you also had quite a lot of cheaper neighborhoods, and there were FSA properties for beginners. In Tokyo, the minimum base price was 202 UPX per UP squared, and the median was 954 UPX per UP squared. So 50% of the neighborhoods were more expensive than 954 UPX per UP squared, but there were also fewer neighborhoods in Tokyo than there were in London. Now, I chose to compare these 2 city releases because they are 2 different strategies. With the London release, as I mentioned, they had another city that was released at the same time to direct all of the beginner players over there. And in London, the prices were generally a lot higher, versus Tokyo, where Upland does want to provide people with every opportunity to participate in new city releases. They don't want to be blocking people out of it. Having said that, the areas in the downtown core are going to be much more expensive than those in the periphery. So it's important that newer players realize that some of the best and most expensive properties that you would see in the real world in Tokyo are probably not going to be for them. What was great about the Tokyo release is that even newer players are able to say that they own virtual land in Tokyo because there was something affordable. This is compared to the London release, where players that had just started out probably weren't able to afford anything in London. So hats off to Upland on another successful city release. This one was really exciting in my opinion. Let me know in the comments what you think. Did you find success in Tokyo? If you like this analysis and this graph, take a look at this next video where I compare the first 4 tier 1 cities.